Okay, this is Street Fighter, geez, good start to the video. This is Virtua Fighter 5 on PS3. I'm gonna play, I can't even talk. I'm gonna play Quest mode with Mr. There we go. Mr. Jeffry McWild. Mine is 7th Dan. Seems like a good number. I don't know. I suppose I'm biased. This is on hard. Normal is too easy on the low ranks, so I keep it on hard. I just have to double check that because I screwed it up once and I'm paranoid forever now. I've been working on clearing out the lowest level arcade, that is fighting everybody in it and collecting their gold stars. So, there's somebody I'm missing at 5th queue. How did that happen? Wait a second. I'm missing a bunch of people. Alright, so I still got some work to do here. Yeah, bunch of work. Alright. And how am I doing on costumes? I think I just kind of finished one costume I was working on. It was type D. Yeah, I finally got my black jacket. Oh yeah, and I got these cool dreads. That was nice. So that's looking good. I also got a Roman helmet. Just acquired that. This needs better pants. What else do we got? This needs everything. Here's my Roman helmet. It's kind of fun. What I would really like, I don't know if they have it in 5. In Final Showdown, there's this awesome, like, black gladiatorial helmet. It's just this black metal helmet with huge curved pointy horns. It's super rad. I don't know if they have it in 5 though. This helmet's alright. But it's no black metal horned helmet. So I had this on. Yeah, let's reverse that. There we go. Okay. I have 5,000 gold, which in theory could buy something in the item shop, but not a whole suit of something, so I'm not going to bother checking that out right now. Let's just go finish mopping up the newbie arcade. How about that? Well, I learned something interesting just now. I finally got my my new headphone amp in the mail. I was very excited because my current little headphone amp has kind of been wigging out on me. Although right now, it's behaving perfectly, so I don't know what that was about.
Ready? Go!
I don't know if that was... Hang on a second. It's behaving itself perfectly now, so... Oh, there we go. No. I think maybe the cable just wasn't plugged in. Well, anyway, now it's fine. So now I actually have two headphone amps. The new one I got is this one is it's a little tiny portable headphone amp thing that you could slip in your pocket.
Excellent.
It's about the size of a pack of cards, although a little thinner. Yeah, it's got a volume knob and a plug where the sound goes in and another plug where your headphones go in. That's about all you need, but it did start wigging out on me, and I thought I checked the cable, but I don't know, maybe I'm stupid and I didn't. That was messy. because I'm not paying attention. But it's fine now, I guess. I think it was just the cable was loose. I don't know how I avoided not checking that. And I'm a klutz. The beast is not really fighting very effectively right now. He's not blocking that. He's not really attacking. Well, I got the prize beast, so I'm in happy town. You're in sad town.
Behold my physique!
And it's one of the... So it's this portable little thing you can slip in your pocket. It doesn't use normal, like a power plug and cord and all that. It just charges by USB, which is fine, and it works. I thought I'd broken it. I thought like it had fallen on the floor, kind of got slung there in a tangle with my microphone cord, which was unfortunate. And then a couple days later, I noticed it was wigging out on me, and my headphones were losing volume in one or the other sides, and there was static, and I didn't even think to check if the cable was plugged in. I could have saved myself a lot of time, but
Ready? Go!
I mean, shopping for solutions, but so thinking that was broken and I needed to get something a little better that wouldn't just break easily, but this one didn't, so I don't know. It's still a good little amp. I think it costs like $30 or $25 or something on Amazon. Some generic brand, I don't know. Anyway, I looked around, and of course the only place I know to look is Amazon, and they had these $50 headphone amps that it's called Tubehead by a company called Rockville. I don't know anything about them. All I know about this little amp for headphones is that this one actually does plug in. It's still pretty tiny, but it does plug in, and it has 2 vacuum tubes that you plug into the top of it. So that's fun, and those suckers those get hot, man. I don't. This is the first thing I've had with vacuum tubes, and so I didn't know anything about vacuum tubes. Those things get pretty warm.
Let's see how many seconds you'll
I mean, they're not,
last.
they're not
you
going to
ready for
scald
this?
you or anything, but they're
Fight one.
pretty warm.
Ready?
Uh,
Go!
Actually, they might not scald isn't the word, but they would definitely make, if you just grabbed them and held them in your hand, they would definitely be a little hotter than you would want to be holding. That would not feel so good.
KO!
So this thing seems pretty cool,
Fight 2! Ready? Go!
but being also this hardcore thing, it doesn't take the normal headphone, 1/8 of an inch headphone jack connection. It requires the hardcore stereo
KO!
person's big 1/4 inch jack,
Fight 3!
which is fine because actually these headphones I have. Turning my amp up. Oh, too loud. Still too loud. Hey, I'm adjusting my volume here, Massimino. Chill out. Oh, I just realized I'm not watching who I'm fighting. Oh well. It's a little warm up. Oh wow. Oh, she teched it. You can tell because the camera didn't change. Whoa. Oh, she blocked the headbutt. I thought I was going to be cool.
KO!
So I needed a 1/4 inch jack. Fortunately, the headphones I have, even though they're these cheap $30 headphones that I got off Amazon, the brand is One Audio. It's Hong Kong brand. But they sound. I'm not an audiophile, so I don't know. They sound as good as I could tell my old $200 Denon headphones sounded. And I'm just playing video games with him, so, you know, I don't know. Oh, I'm confused. Oh, it's Tev East. Do I need to fight Tev East? Oh, whatever, I'll do it. Maybe he'll show me some moves. Because I'm just using this move. Oh, nuts. Oh, nuts. These headphones actually have a detachable audio cable on them, so and the plug that plugs into them is a quarter inch cable, oddly enough. But the cord they come with it's quarter inch on one end and eighth of an inch on the other. So you have the quarter inch that plugs into the headphones, and then the eighth inch that plugs into your audio output port on your device. So what I needed though was a quarter inch to quarter inch cable. So because the socket in my headphones is quarter inch, and then the socket in my headphone amp is quarter inch. So I was looking at quarter inch to quarter inch male cables on Amazon, and some dude was saying, this isn't a quality cable on one I was looking at. What you should do is look at a quality cable like a Fender guitar cable. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, don't do that. That is wrong. Because as I found out just now when I tried to hook up my new amp and my new cable and I was all excited, guitar cables and Fender cables, they're pretty respected, I guess, and they feel awesome. I mean, it's got this kind of cloth-stitched skin to it, and it's super, super thick and just feels like it could just withstand all kinds of stuff. But unfortunately, guitar cables are not stereo cables. They're only mono. That's all guitars need, I guess, so that's all they are. And you can tell this because a mono quarter-inch audio cable, the plug, or the jack, whatever it is, I guess I'll call it a jack, I think that's more the correct term, has only one black rubber ring around the rod of the plug or the jack. Just one ring, whereas a stereo, or what's actually, I guess, correctly called a balanced quarter-inch jack, has two black rings around its jack. So you need to find a jack that goes from a quarter-inch, a cable that goes from a quarter-inch jack with two black rings to another quarter-inch jack with two black rings.
Fight two. Ready? Go.
And what happened when I plugged in my sweet new Fender mono guitar cable was that I was only getting audio through the left cup of the headphones. Although I found that if I pulled the jack out slightly, then it would actually send this audio signal to both cups of the headphones. So it sounded like it was working all of a sudden. I was like, oh no, maybe I'll just kind of like tape it in here in this loose position and just be careful not to move my head suddenly. But I think all it was doing basically was giving the mono signal to both ears at once. So I wasn't getting stereo, I was just getting mono in both ears. And so I decided not to do that.
Excellent.
So I went and ordered I think the brand is Mogami or something. It's the balanced cable brand that all these musicians on Sweetwater.com swear by. They're really expensive. I got it's just a 6 foot, audio quarter-inch to quarter-inch cable, but it's stereo or balanced, but it's 6 feet, and it cost $50 or $60. I think it was $60. So that's $10 a foot. So that was kind of surprising. You can get, of course, like $10 ones $10 entire cable ones on Amazon, but reviews of those tend to be a little mixed. People say they get line noise or something. Supposedly these Megami ones are insulated well and actually built well and all that stuff, so that you won't get static or line noise or whatever. So I don't know. I like to have quality cables, I guess. So that's what I ordered, but it won't be here for like 2 weeks.
Excellent.
So till then, I'm using my little old amp, which apparently is not at all damaged in
Fight
that
2. Ready?
fall it took, and it just had the plug had just come loose, and I'm a chump who didn't check it. Oh, that was different. I knew you wanted to come in, Sir Siracos.
Excellent.
Okay, I gotta stop just fighting everybody who comes along.
Fight 3. Ready? Go.
But I do want to fight Sir Siracos. So anyway, if you do ever need a stereo 1/4-inch audio cable, be sure that the jacks on the cable you're getting have 2 little black rubber rings around them, not just one. You need the 2 rings. That's the stereo or quote-unquote balanced cable. It's also called a phone cable, I think, but that might also apply to the mono ones. I don't think it does, though. Anywho, I learned something new about audio cables today.
Ready?
Okay, we gotta stop just fighting everybody here, because I've probably fought most of these people before. Let's fight somebody I haven't fought. See, I don't have her yellow star next to her name. That means I haven't beat her yet. So, fight Andy Mon. So I'm kind of bummed out about that, but I was a little afraid the problem was like my crazy new amp with the vacuum tubes was broken somehow, or only doing one ear. But it's not. It's just I had the wrong cable. I had a mono cable. Silly me.
Ready? Go.
Then I was thinking, oh no, what do I do? How do I know if it's the headphones? Maybe my $30 headphones can't handle a actual 1/4-inch amp with a lot of power, so I'll have to get new headphones. And I had been looking to see if I did have to get new headphones, what I would do. And man, that is I mean, there's doubtless some sweet headphones out there. Like, if money was no object, I would really be tempted to get some more Denon headphones, but go for because they don't make the $200 Denon headphones I got like over a decade ago. Wow, that's just that's back punch, that move. They were really nice as far as I know. I don't know. I can't stick my head into headphones and tell immediately that they're the good or bad exactly, unless they're obviously just not working right. Okay, now I'm thinking a little about the fight, and that's getting me into trouble.
Fight 4. Ready? Go.
But if money was no object, I'd be tempted to get a pair of, because Denon doesn't make the $200 type of headphones that I got a decade ago anymore. Now, because those headphones had their trademark. Oh, what was that? Was that just? Because I meant to do the back punch, but okay. See, now I'm thinking about this and I'm screwing up. Anyway, they don't. The old headphones I got had their round ear muffs, ear cups, and the $200 headphones they sell now are a different form factor. They're kind of oval head cups, and it is all metal construction on the parts that count, but it's not really their signature construction, and it seems a little iffy to me, just in that regard. I mean, they're supposedly fine and all, but not that I can even afford $200 headphones. This is all pure fantasy land. But so if money was no object, I would bypass those $200 ones and go. I think the actual ones with the round ear cups for Denon start at like $500 or $600. I think those are supposed to be pretty sweet. Although even if you look up reviews of those on Amazon, which, you know, if you want to depress yourself, read a lot of Amazon reviews. You'll have people who are saying, these don't actually sound very good, blah, blah, blah. The pitch is off, or the bass tones, you can tell what kind of audiophile I am. You know, whatever. Somebody will always have something horrible, or, you know, it broke, or whatever. So reading headphones reviews was really depressing. I'm thinking, man, even if I did splurge with money I can't really afford to spend on just a sweet pair of headphones, you do never know. They might break after a year, and then you'd be up a creek, unless you have another $600 or something. So, also the thing with Denon, well, what's interesting about Denon headphones now, I think they kind of pulled out of the U.S. market, except for, I mean, no, that's not true. There is a Denon USA, and they still sell models here and all that stuff, but a bunch of the models that I was looking around for seem to be you can buy them off people who are, you know, importing them from Japan through eBay and stuff, but they don't sell them, they don't retail them in the States, which is interesting. The other thing about Denon is, which I kind of respect, is that they're kind of quarter or eighth of an inch jack purists, so they don't actually do quarter-inch jacks on their headphones. All their headphones are eighth of an inch jacks, which I think is just, well, I have no idea. I would guess that that's just the Japanese preference, and that's just the what people are used to in Japan, what they look for in Japan. Seems like American audiophiles are really big into quarter-inch jacks, and of course, you know, we're Americans. We want bigger things, so you get the much bigger plug, and you feel like you're playing with power now. That's the interesting thing too. Denon's headphones, like you look at these high-end quarter-inch jack headphones that are marketed in the States, and you know they're made by German companies, all these other different nationalities, some Japanese companies, and all this stuff. But a lot of the high-end ones, especially for music industry professionals and stuff, like people who are mixing audio and all this stuff, those headphones, stupid wolf, lion, wolf, whatever. Whoop. Those headphones take a lot of current, a lot of electricity. It's called resistance, or is it? Oh, impedance. That's what it is. The impedance of these high-end U.S. headphones, especially with the big quarter-inch audio jack, is, although most of them do come with eighth-inch adapters, but they'll still have a high impedance, which would mean you wouldn't get a whole lot of volume out of them if you tried just plugging them into like a cell phone or something, some device that doesn't put out much power. So that's why there are headphones amps now, for one thing. I'm not sure how much. Oh, well, so this tube head headphone amp that I have now, that I don't currently have the correct cable for, its specs say it it's for powering things with impedance, headphones with an impedance of 16. I think it was about 16 to 600 ohms, which is still apparently considered low impedance. Wait a second. No, I'm confusing that with impedance of.
Ready? Go!
What's the other impedance thing I was looking at? Impedance of microphones. Yeah, I was looking at microphone impedance. So anyway. Oh. See, I probably don't have to fight you, and you're being rough on me right now. So I'm not sure how many ohms just a standard cell phone pushes through its headphone jack. That would be good to know, but probably not over 100, and probably way less than that. So some of these high-end headphones, it's like 250 ohms or something.
Start running now.
And so you need some kind of amp to plug those into, or you just won't get enough volume out of them, apparently. And what's interesting, what actually surprised me, and I didn't look into this at length, so possibly I was just reading this incorrectly, but the one thing I happened to see before I decided I spent way too much time looking at stuff that's never going to matter to me because I can't afford it, is that
Ready? Go!
now you would think that, okay, headphones that require a lot of power to get the sound out of them, that probably means that that like the magnets that are moving in the speakers to generate the sound are heavier or something, you know? They're just these big beefy things or something. But that apparently, according to the one thing I actually looked at before I stopped, was apparently that is actually completely incorrect. Low impedance headphone magnet speakers, headphone speaker magnets, or high impedance headphone speaker magnets that take a lot of power, sweet, from an amp or whatever, are apparently lighter. And so I'm not sure why that takes more power. I was thinking maybe it requires power to stabilize it or something. But I don't know. That would be something I'm sort of curious to look up, but I probably
Let's see
won't.
if you can walk the walk. Fight one.
So these high-end, like, professional audio engineer mixing headphones or whatever they are, they might have these high impedance ratings, so you need an amp or whatever to plug them into. But their speaker magnets are actually lighter and move more easily, and but it takes more power, so I'm not sure why that is. But apparently the advantage of all of that is that
Excellent.
what you get out of that is a cleaner sound, and somehow, I don't know, somehow it comes out with a smoother soundscape or a cleaner soundscape, or, you know, whatever. Well, I don't even know what a soundscape is. I can't tell the difference.
Come on.
Hey.
KO.
Like, I'm just now noticing on this stage, when somebody falls in the water and there's a splash, there's a tiny little, like, splish sound, a tiny little, like, counter splash sound, and you can barely hear it. And I started hearing it just today as I was freaking out and being paranoid and trying to figure out why I was only hearing audio through one ear when I first tried my new amp, and so I never even heard that sound before. I thought at first it was static or something on my amp or my headphones. New heavy gloves, eh? I can imagine what those are. I think I have some orange heavy gloves. Wait a second, where the heck are the gloves? Fight gloves. Yeah, I thought that would be... Oh, and they have big orange wristbands. That's pretty weird. Well, I don't think those will fit my Roman costume either. No. Well, could come in handy someday. You never know. Alright, well, I have a tournament to go to. See you chumps later. 5 rounds. It's not even that much money. Oh, well. So, I hope you enjoyed my trying to explain my ignorance as it pertains to certain pieces of audio equipment. And now you know as little as I do about them. But I think the other interesting thing I noticed so far about this weird vacuum tube amp
Big time player is here.
is that,
I'll be celebrating tonight.
and maybe this was just because I had a mono cable instead of a stereo cable, but I'm thinking probably not the burn. Oh, jeez. Okay, I gotta take this seriously, actually. Oh, as seriously as we're getting here. I just want to hug you, the burn. Hugs. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. Why have I suddenly decided to stop knowing the range on that? No. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Is when it's turned on, suddenly you can hear, and I guess this is the difference between, having an analog audio device versus what I'm used to having are digital devices, essentially. They have analog audio out in the final analysis, but before then they're all digital. But this thing is, analog. It's got test tubes, for Pete's sake. And so when you power it on and you have your, in my case, incorrect big fat 1/4-inch cable plugged in,
Ready? Go!
you can hear little pings and echoes if you tap the... Oh, I said echo, and so my Amazon eavesdropping smart assistant thing just blipped at me. I'm not talking to you. You can all of a sudden hear these pings. I was just flailing, and I didn't even know what I was doing because I was side switched.
Ready? Go!
Oh. Okay, I gotta start paying attention. So you can hear these audio pings and just other noises that are like... I think I had a cable was like hitting the amp. So this noise was basically echoing, was being converted into analog audio and coming down the cable to me. Oh man. I was doing pretty good there for a sec, and then
Ready? Go!
I wasn't doing it. Oh no, that hurts. It looks like it hurts. Okay, I'm doing bad now. Okay, back to basics. No, I can't do that one. It's because I'm nervous. That was a good combo you laid on me. Well, I've lost 3 straight rounds, I believe. I think this is 5 rounds.
Ready? Go!
Yeah, I am nervous about getting in kicking range of him. That was supposed to be a throw. Well, he's whittled me right down again. This is going poorly. Ugh. Yeah, my Jeffrey is suddenly way too one-dimensional.
Ready? Go!
Or I just need to get my mojo back for the kicking. That helps. Oh, okay, that was nice. Oh, nice tech. Jeez, there's a head bobbing machine right there. Oh. Oh, nuts. Well, that was not great. Yeah. I did not win. No, I got too nervous. I started thinking about, I don't know, him hitting me, and I just got nervous, and I stopped being effective with my big old kick, which is basically what I rely on. And I wasn't even doing back punch very well. So I was basically misfiring on the few moves that I use, which, I mean, they're simple moves, so they're pretty foolproof usually, but, well, I fooled him there. Well, I think I've run out of stupid audio topics to bore you with and distract myself with, so maybe now I will not be such a chump. That's unlikely, though. I'll still be a chump. Could have used the money from that tournament. It wasn't a huge money tournament, but it was a 5-rounder, and I kind of hate 5-round tournaments anyway. So yeah, I'm glad I lost. That's it. I'm glad I lost in the first round. What a stupid tournament.
Ready? Go!
Anyway, the upside of all this stupid audio nonsense I've been distracting myself with and keeping myself up with at night looking up in the past several weeks is that
Ready? Go!
I'm actually kind of psyched about these cheap $30 headphones that I happened to find. I mean, they were popular on Amazon because they were so cheap and people thought they sounded pretty good. But they might just happen to be the headphones that are best suited to me because, you know, like, I can't tell. Like, when my $200 Denon headphones finally fritzed out, one side just stopped putting out sound. I didn't have much money. I still don't. So, and, you know, I found these $30 headphones on Amazon that people seem to like, so I thought, well, I'll give them a shot. How bad could they sound? And I got them, and I was like, oh, they sound just as good as those $200 headphones that I had for years.
Excellent.
So, so in terms of audio quality, I can't tell the difference. And,
Ready? Go!
In terms of comfort, they aren't quite the most comfortable headphones. I guess they're a little tight on my big old head. Not actually super tight, and it's not that I really notice it. It's just after I've been wearing them for, you know, an hour or so, and I take them off, then I realize, oh yeah, I feel a slight relief in taking them off. So they're not.
Ready?
I don't forget I have them on, I guess is what I would say. They're not painful or anything. And you know they're mostly plastic construction, as most headphones these days are. So I'm sure they're not the sturdiest things, but I've never had any actual build problems with them. But you know, and they don't feel like super expensive headphones, but they don't feel like super cheap headphones. But anyway, the cool thing is they do have that detachable cable. Oh, another thing I learned is that, like if you look on Sweetwater.com, which is this audio sale site, they just specialize in audio. That's all they do. So they, you know, have a lot of headphone reviews and all this stuff from customers. But one thing I found out by looking at that is that a thing you can filter by, I don't know if you can do this on Amazon, is you can filter by replaceable cables. And so I was looking for, well, what headphone could I get that have a detachable cable like these $30 ones I have now, because I wanted to get you know, a quarter-inch to quarter-inch cable that I could plug into the headphones on one end and the, or some headphones on one end, and the new amp on the other end. Well, a lot of headphones these days list themselves as having, and you can filter by this on Sweetwater, on having replaceable cables. But that is far from the same thing. Replaceable just means that, yes, a technician, you could theoretically send in your headphones to the manufacturer if the cable develops a problem. And the manufacturer's technicians could replace the frayed or whatever cable and get you a new cable in your headphones and send the headphones back to you. So, you know, after a month and whatever shipping and actual repair fees, then yes, you would have, in theory, a new cable on your headphones, but it would take a long time and it would not be free. It's not like you can just put your own cable on. So what I was actually looking for was not replaceable cable, it was detachable cable. And there actually aren't very many headphones that have a detachable cable. See, I found another stupid audio topic I can ramble on about. In fact, I was just trying to Google, like, detachable cable headphones, and I was pretty surprised. I came up with almost nothing. I did come up, of course, the main result was the One Audio headphones that I already have, which I guess has spoiled me already. There's basically those, and the other one I noticed, it might have been more that I somehow overlooked or didn't looked a little sketchy to me. The other one I noticed was a pair of Sony headphones, like $300 Sony headphones, that have a detachable 1/8" cable. Those actually look like pretty nice headphones, and I guess they should be for $300. But I am pretty happy with my headphones that only cost 1/10 of that, and that have still going strong after a year, and and have a detachable cable. And actually, you know, those Denon headphones I have, those $200 headphones, which at the time I thought was that was my huge splurge. I was working for the Man at that time in an office. It was a game development company, so it's not too mannish. Actually, it was Sony. I think I was at Sony when I got those.
Behold my physique!
I wanted some nice headphones. Yeah, I think I was. I might have still been at Monolith, but I think I was at Sony, and I needed some headphones to listen to my own audio to drown out my annoying coworkers who would, for instance, be playing ping pong on the ping pong table that it turned out was right next to my cubicle. You know, and I thought they were just slackers who should be working. Of course, I was if this is the time period I'm thinking of, at that time I was basically the only designer left on the Matrix Online,
Excellent.
and pretty much everybody else in the Sony studio in
Ready?
the
Go!
east side of Seattle in Bellevue, or was it Kirkland? I guess that's technically Kirkland. They were working on this. It was a game that was going to be called The Agency. Wow, I just got ravaged. Why am I fighting her? It was going to be called The Agency. It was going to be kind of an action, semi-MMO thing, and it just...
Fight 3.
It
Ready?
didn't seem like a great concept to me, and even if it didn't seem like a concept that really had an audience. It didn't seem like a particularly great concept anyway, regardless of what audience it might have had, and
KO!
it seemed like they probably did not have the team with the technical
Ready?
and
Go!
game design experience to really make this game, to make this design, or any design like it work. So that didn't seem promising to me, and what
Excellent.
particularly, I suppose, biased me against the whole thing was that a lot of the people they had on the project were, well, they seemed like noobs to me. They game industry noobs. They didn't understand that game industry work is pain. They goofed off. They just they didn't get a lot of work done, essentially, is the problem. And if there's one thing that games require generally, in my experience, I only ever worked for, well, I guess it was 2 companies, but one company bought my project. Sony bought my project from Monolith, but I did work on a bunch of projects for Monolith, not as a designer, but as a tester and a test lead. But
Ready?
the thing with games, with working on games, is that all your, and this applies to certain things, like certain types of visual art, well, that's the other thing I have experience in, is that all you're really limited by, you're not limited by materials, or in a lot of cases, you're not even really limited by, having to wait for results from other people. So it can just be you in your, sitting at your computer, just however much time you want to put in to make something really cool, and that's kind of neat. That it's just you and your brain and pumping it into the computer. But of course on a game project where you're working with other people, you are limited in the sense that you're probably waiting for them to finish up certain art assets or other programming things or whatever, programmer, as you can tell. But aside from that, a lot of the time you're just working on something, and how cool it's going to be is can be affected directly by how much of your life, of your hours, you work on it. So it's really tempting if you want to make something cool. This should be interesting. It's really tempting and if you don't actually have much of a life and all that stuff, as these are the people they like to hire, you'll just, if you're like me, you may just end up just working stupid hours all the time, just because you want the game to be cool, and you want to, it's like, yeah, I could put in my 8 hours and go home. I could go on a lunch break and hang out with the other goofballs in the office. I could go home or go to a movie after work or whatever. Or I could stay here and not do any of that stuff and instead just make my part of the game that much cooler. And so that's really dangerous to a sort of addictive perfectionist personality like me, and I totally burnt myself out over years of doing that. So that was totally my fault. But, well, I shouldn't say but. I mean, it was my fault for putting up with that nonsense. The problem is, well, one way you get suckered into it is because these companies they get away with it because they have people who are that dedicated at first. And so that kind of becomes the culture. Ow. And then management never has to be responsible for actually coming up with a development plan that would allow people to not have to kill themselves and work all hours. And so it just becomes this really bad scene where the game is always going to be behind schedule and late and riddled with problems because not everybody can put in that kind of hours, and life happens, and so the hours just aren't there, and now you're behind schedule. It's stupid. Oh shoot. Oh wow, he planted me way high up that fence. I've never been just face planted that high up a fence. Ooh, that was a much lower plant, but much more effective. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Major?
Now that's Mariner's power.
See, I'm getting these little bursts of static, like when he punched the floor there, and I wonder if that's some limitation of my weird setup or my cheap headphones or what. It can't quite handle whatever that. Or possibly it's just the game audio. I kind of doubt that. I should listen back to this just on speakers or something. I'd have to have it pretty isolated, I guess. Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's the problem with that. See, now there you can hear these weird little rubber twisty sounds as she sort of twirls me around her body. That sound kind of creeps me out.
Ready? Go!
Ah, see, that's interesting. She evaded the first hit there, but the second one tracked her. Uh-oh. Dang it. Uh-oh. Yeah, headbutt kill. I only learned the headbutt fairly recently.
Ready? Go!
It seems pretty good. That is such an awkward animation, but it almost makes the whole thing look way more painful just because it's like nothing should move like that. Oh, there's a lot more juggle there. Oh no, not for me.
KO!
Nice flip.
Fight 4. Ready? Go!
Oops. Ooh. Ugh, being sloppy. Oh, hello. Well, this is trouble. Oh dear. What was that?
Fight 5. Ready? Go!
Dang. Oh no! Oh no 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 no!
KO.
Just roll away, get away from the woman who is dislocating all of your joints.
Behold my physique!
Behold my awesome black leather jacket and cool dreads, both of which I just recently acquired. But I'm not acquiring anything so far this episode because I blew the one money tournament that came along. I'm just a poor boy.
Can't ever picture you winning.
Fight 1. Ready?
Okay, dude.
Go.
I guess you won't see me winning because I'm not going to fight you, Auron. Because I already have your star. The other little surprise about this silly vacuum tube amp is that, well, it's weird. Like, I'm not, I said, you know, I've never used anything with vacuum tubes before. I know they're this big audiophile thing. Like, when I was a kid, my best friend's dad had a friend who was a huge audiophile as far as I could tell. And he would, my friend's dad would sometimes get some high-end audio stuff from him. And that's where I saw stuff with test tubes in it. Test tubes, I can't even. Vacuum tubes. And, you know, I don't even really know what the whole deal with why people swear by vacuum tubes in audio equipment is. I mean, I guess, like, the vacuum tube is... It's adapting from one voltage or amperage or something to another, right? Something like that? That's what vacuum tubes do, I think. And, for audio, they're good at... You want them because it sounds better than signals that are converted just by typical, more digital means. I don't know. But I guess there must be some sound people like. Maybe it's a warmer sound, or there's kind of a resonance. I don't know. I mean, how are you gonna sound? Maybe it's a smoother voltage that comes out of it. It seems unlikely somehow. Oh, that's forward kick. Wow. I don't use that much because if you miss, it's a huge, you're wide open. Like that. But maybe I should use it more because it's awesome when it hits. Yeah. Say hello to my big knee. Oh, camera. Oh, that is so sweet.
Try training next time.
You're such a goofball. What was I saying about vacuum tubes? There's something else I thought of about this weird little vacuum tube amp. It's gone. It's gone from my goofy head. I wonder if this guy will take the knee. Oh no. Oh no, he got a good counter juggle. Oh no. Yeah, that's gonna lose me this match. That's why it was so surprising it was hitting Dizzy so much. Oh, sweet. I'm not sure what combo that was that I laid on him because it was from the right side and I just don't know what I'm doing with buttons from the right side. It's just like... Just have some kind of friendly spirit guiding me once in a while so I don't totally suck it up.
Fight 3. Ready?
Because left to my own from the right side, I am completely confused. Oh dear. See, there I was definitely giving myself commands, and they did not pan out. Uh-oh. Second hit auto tracks, baby.
Now that's Mariner's power.
I can hear all these little sharp sounds when he adjusts his position there. When he punches the ground and then turns, there's these sharp little sounds. I wonder if those are somehow in my hardware or if that's just that's actually in the audio file in the game. It's not loud, but
Fight 1. Ready? Go!
I'm starting to think it might be the headphone because I hear, well, or it's this cable thing. I don't know.
Fight
It's
2.
interesting.
Ready? Go!
I could pay attention to that when I get my new amp finally connected correctly. Whoop.
KO!
Oh, I remember. Yay, I remembered.
Fight
So these
3.
vacuum tubes, for one thing,
Ready?
I didn't expect
Go!
these vacuum tubes to be I didn't expect the whole amp to be as tiny as it is. It's, what, maybe like 4 inches square-ish? And an inch. Oh wow, I'm not sure what I just did there, but it was awesome. Oh no. So I'm kicking my feet.
KO!
So the whole unit is tiny, and then the little 2 test tubes that plug into the top are themselves tiny. They're like
My physique.
less than the diameter of a dime. The cylinder is less than that in diameter, I think, and maybe just a little less. And they're maybe 2 inches tall, counting the wires sticking out the bottom. But the thing that surprised me, not having ever actually plugged in any test tubes before, as far as I can recall, is that the pins, the wires that come out of the bottom of the vacuum tubes, they weren't all pointing straight down, I guess is what I can say. They were a little higgledy-piggledy, not bent, but just like coming out of the sealed glass tube at slightly different angles. And I kind of wonder, is that just, these vacuum tubes are not made to, space age specifications, and so there's a little wiggle room in terms of how like these wires dried in the glass as the vacuum tube was made or something. Oh wow. Okay. So the wires, one of them I actually did have to massage a little so that it would go in, so that the whole tube would plug in peacefully. And like they don't sit completely firmly, I think, because they're just these sort of curved tube things. They don't have a solid like plastic plug or something at the bottom that would form a flat level base. So they can kind of rock around a bit, even though I think all their pins are plugged in. Like if you really shoved them, you could sort of wiggle them a little. So that's all. It's all this weird analog,
Fight
you
one.
know,
Ready? Go.
not made super I don't know. There's a little wiggle room in the measurements on these vacuum tubes, I guess. And maybe there are other vacuum tubes that are made a little more precisely. I don't know. Oh yeah, I like that. But I guess I did get them plugged in. And see, I was thinking maybe I didn't have them plugged in, and that was why I wasn't getting audio through one of the cups on my headphones. But no, that was definitely the... I had a mono cable instead of a stereo cable. Oh, that was a good evasion and counterattack. But the surprise I got, aside from just how sort of loosely made these vacuum tubes were, you know, people are chilled out when they make vacuum tubes. I don't know. It's not the move I thought it was.
KO.
Is that when these babies plug in on this amp and you turn the thing on, there's some kind of
Ready?
red light down there that they've put in. So you've got this red glow. I don't think that's actually part of how the tubes work. I think it's an artificial thing that they added for visual effect. So we've got this little nefarious red glow that comes up from the bottom of the vacuum tubes when the thing is powered on. It's kind of fun.
Mariner's power.
There is, though, up at the top of the tube, I guess there's a wire filament that goes up there. Actually, looks like there's a number of filaments. Up near the top of the tube, though, there does seem to be a little tiny orange glow when it's on, which I think is part of, like, a filament that heats up there or something. So that would actually be a natural glow, not some kind of LED effect that they've put in there just to be cool looking. But and then they get really warm. I was a little worried after I ordered the thing. I was like, wait a second, do vacuum tubes, like, are they going to blow out after, you know, I'm going to have to replace these things every X number of months or something? But that is not clear. I looked up vacuum tubes and how long do vacuum tubes last? And apparently they can last for just, you know, tens of thousands of operating hours. Of course, it depends. You know, who knows? But there are vacuum tubes that do last super long. Oh, okay. Tired of your stupid game. Oh, shoot. So hopefully these are a reasonably long-lasting type. You know, I guess it depends on how well made they are and all that stuff. And how much I use them. And really, I only... You know, I use them when I play games on this setup, and I only play for, you know, what, an hour and a half a day at most. So it's not a ton of use. Take a while to get to tens of thousands of hours that way. So hopefully they stick around for a while. And I don't imagine they're that expensive to replace.
Fight four.
Rockville, the manufacturer, says that they recommend this particular test tube type, which is, it's like a 3-letter abbreviation, like TV6 or something, I don't know. But then they list like 20 other vacuum tubes that you could use as alternatives. So it's like, oh, okay, well, if I ever do need new vacuum tubes, apparently it shouldn't be too hard to find ones that'll work. I think they've got, you know, like I said, the diameter is probably a little less than a dime, and then I think it's about six pins that stick out of the bottom that are about maybe half an inch long.
Yes.
In a roughly circular shape that's sort of broken on one side where there are no pins. Oh, Tetram, I probably don't have to fight you. Well, I should be wrapping this up soon. In fact, I might as well just do it now before the game decides to throw a tournament or something my way. I have to keep this one a little shorter than normal, and at this point it's really only about 5 minutes shorter because my last one went long because I did get sucked into some silly stuff. So I'm going to keep this one 5 minutes or so shorter. I have 9,600 gold. Where did I get... Oh, I must have won item gold in an item match. Oh, and I'm only one orb away from getting whatever item comes along in the orb disc that I'll collect. So that's exciting. I did not... How close am I to... How do I tell how close I am in terms of rank to getting promoted? I guess I'd have to go fight somebody. I don't want to do that. I could get sucked into some kind of tournament. Yeah, well, we'll live in suspense. Well, thanks for watching this episode of smbhax 2000's moron level audio for morons. But yeah, I definitely have spent way too much time trying to figure out how to get audio stuff working, when really, apparently all I needed to do was plug in this silly audio cable more firmly on the headphone amp I've already been using for the past year. But, you know, I guess I've learned some things, so it hasn't been a total loss, maybe. Although I should never need these things because they're about old technology that nobody really needs to use anymore. Who knows? So next up will be Vanessa Lewis, right back here in quest mode in Virtua Fighter 5. So again, thanks for listening to my completely incorrect notions about audio, and for watching me beat some people up with Mr. Jeffry McWild while only half paying attention, which is actually when I fight best. So yeah, and I hope you will maybe watch some more of my silly, rambling video game playing videos at some later date. I'm going to stop recording now so I can actually get this thing uploaded in a reasonable amount of time on my slow connection. Okay, bye-bye.